Hi, I'm Allison Shelley. I'm a photojournalist. Just like any journalist, my job is to report on what's happening in the world. But a photojournalist tells these stories with photos. I'm a freelancer, which means I work for different publications. Some of my time is spent doing assignments that are given to me, and some is spent photographing my own projects that I then sell to publications. Today, we're going to talk about techniques that photographers use to catch the attention of the viewer and better communicate a story. All the photos we're going to see were taken by me on my phone in Nigeria, Senegal, and Ethiopia using techniques that you can copy. And they were all taken for an Instagram feed called Everyday Africa. Let me show you an example. What do you see in this picture? What story does this picture tell? Today we're going to talk about the different kinds of photos we take to tell stories. This was a photo taken of a group of girls in Nigeria who were on their way to church. To tell a strong story as a photojournalist, I use different types of pictures to show the various sides of a story. Can you guess what some of those might be? We're going to talk about a few main categories. Let's start with this photo. This is a portrait. A portrait is a photo that mainly focuses on a person or a group of people. It can be posed or capture a more natural moment. These happen to be soccer fans in the capital city of Ethiopia. They're celebrating a playoff game with their national team by painting each other's faces. How about this picture? Is this a portrait? Well, there's a person's arm, but this is an example of a detail picture because the main view is of something that takes up just a small part of a greater scene. In this case, this is an afternoon snack in Nigeria, a tray of roasted peanuts. How about this picture? We might call this an action shot. This is a Nigerian soccer coach doing catching drills with a goalie. So any photo that shows something in progress could be called an action photo. How about this picture? Maybe this looks familiar to you. It's a man changing a flat tire. He's in the middle of the countryside in Senegal. I would call this picture a landscape or establishing photo because it shows us the environment in which a situation is taking place. Let's look at a few more photos and see which category we think they belong in. And remember, some pictures can be in more than one category. I would put this next one in the detail category. It's a hand-drawn mural on a wall in a village in Senegal, and just a very tiny part of the whole scene that I saw there. I photographed these two brothers in matching outfits, which is something really cool in Nigeria. I would call this maybe a portrait. What would you call it? This picture is of a boy who's washing off his horse in a lake in Senegal, and I might call this one a landscape or establishing shot because we can see a lot of what's happening in the background, but maybe you call it a portrait. This next picture could belong in several categories, right? I see a landscape, a portrait, and an action shot here. This man is selling water from cans on a dirty canal in a community in Lagos, Nigeria. In this video, we learned that it takes a variety of different kind of images to tell a good story. How could you use action, landscape, detail, and portrait to tell your own story, the story of your classroom, or everyday life in your community?